can go for discussion about the remaining essential nutrients, that is an minerals. The second one is phosphorus. Then we are going to take them three sightings. One is a source of phosphorus, then availability of phosphorus, and physiological role or physiological effects of phosphorus in the plant body. Then source is from where does and in which form that phosphorus is available for plant. Then phosphorus is present in the soil, that from the soil particles, and it is absorbed in the form of H2PO4 and HPO4 minus 2. H2PO4 minus we can call as dihydrogen phosphate. HPO4 minus 2 is called as an hydrogen phosphate. Means phosphorus is absorbed by the plant body with the help of their roots. That is one in the form of H2PO4 minus. The second one is HPO4 minus. That is nothing but dihydrogen phosphate and hydrogen phosphate. These are the important terms. And availability, from where does that soil consists of phosphorus, but in the soil, from where does soil is available, from where does soil gets into, that phosphorus is available from soil rocks are going for degradation, rocks are going to get for splitting, then they make as small particles, they can go into dissolve in the water molecule. Anyhow, the phosphorus is getting by plant with the help of their roots, that is in the form of H2PO4 minus HPO4 minus 2. H2PO4 minus HPO4 minus 2. Then what is the importance of phosphorus in the plant body? Then one concept is it is important for constitution, in the sense construction of the plant parts. Constitute in the sense construction parts. But is phosphorus is important for formation of nucleic acids, that is an DNA as well as RNA. It is also important for cell membrane formation. That you know already. Cell membrane is made up of phospholipids. Phospholipid. Cell membrane is phospholipid membrane. In the sense, phosphorus is present along with the lipids, and as well as coenzymes like NADP, nicotine, amine, adenine, dinucleotide phosphate. So coenzymes are constructed, then cell membrane is constructed, nucleic acid is constructed. Constituent actions in the sense construction actions. The second important concept is phosphorus is storage. Where does phosphorus is stored? Phosphorus is stored in the fruits, seeds as well as in the meristematic. This stored phosphorus is available even for animal species. For regulation of the various metabolic activities, even for animal species, if the plant is eaten by animal species, it is available. Sometimes these fruit, seeds and meristematic, after degradation, after falls down, they go for some time degradation and they can be available in the soil for that one more plant. So it has been continuous. Dear students, now we can see that the one more important mineral nutrient, that is an essential element, is the potassium. Then source of the potassium is present in the soil in the form of rocks. It is absorbed in the form of potassium ions K+. Availability, from where does potassium is available in the soil? That soil consists of potassium by the process of decomposition as well as rocks degradation. Then physiological role of potassium means how does potassium is important in the plant body? What type of metabolic activities takes place with the help of potassium ions, potassium element? Then first one is potassium is present at high concentration in the following parts of the plant. Potassium is highly concentrated. Then potassium is active dividing cells consist of great amount, high concentration of potassium. Also potassium is present at vegetative parts. What is the meaning of vegetative parts? Like leaf, like stem, like root and etc. And also present the floral buds, then parts of the flower. Also present at high concentration at young leaves. And also here potassium is presented at high concentration in the following parts of the plant. That is an actively dividing cells, that is nothing but meristematics at meristematic zone. That cells are having dividing capacity. So potassium is concentrated at that high dividing cells, that is nothing but meristematic cells, as well as below the root cap. Below root cap, that is nothing but meristematic. Then potassium is also helpful for protein synthesis, as well as then have the regulation of the metabolic activities, and also helpful for cellular permeability. As you know, the cell is covered by plasma membrane. That materials come inside and materials goes out as per the required amount of things. The materials come inside, goes out is regulated by potassium ions. At last, then potassium also is responsible for opening and closing of stomatas. Then you know that stomatas are present. They are the kidney shape or dumbbell shape. They open when the water content is more, and they close when the water content is less. So the potassium ions helpful for opening and closing of stomatas. Dear students, now we can see that one more essential element, that is in calcium. That you know that calcium is important even for animals as well as plant species. Then source of calcium is present in the soil. That almost all the nutrients are available from the soil. Then absorbed form, the form of calcium absorption is in the form of calcium ions. Then availability from the soil by the process of decomposition as well as the process of degradation. Then physiological role of calcium in the plant body is calcium is required for meristematic as well as differentiating tissues where then cells undergoes to division, especially differentiation, in the sense that one cell divides into two cells, that two cells divides into four cells. After formation of group of cells, they undergoes to differentiation as then here epidermic cells as well as cortex as well as glandular bundles. From this one, leaf, stem and so on. Differentiation is possible. What is that? Meristematic cells, the calcium is having the greater amount. They are useful for differentiation of the tissues. Cells are became tissues, tissues are became differentiated into different parts of the plant. Then calcium is required for synthesis of cell wall during cell division. In animal cells, cell wall is not present, but in the plant cells, cell wall is present. Then cell membrane is present. There is a one cell differentiates into the two cells. That is the plasma membrane. Each cell is covered by cell wall. The cell wall construction with the help of calcium ions. And also calcium is pectate is in the middle of lamella. In the sense, calcium is present in the middle of lamella. In the sense, there is a one cell going to connect with one more cell. And then typically later on here, there is a plasma membrane is present. In the middle of the plasma membrane, there is a peptide is present. It is made up of calcium ions. Then formation of mitotic spindle fibers. There is at the time of cell division, there is a chromosomes are pulling to each side. The chromosomal number will be doubled, but half of the chromosomes are pulling one side. Then just half of the chromosomes are pulling to another side. The chromosomal pulling is possible with the help of spindle fiber. The spindle fiber formation also with the help of calcium ions. The next is activation of enzymes like ATP is. Then ADP by inorganic phosphate became ATP. For this ATP formation is possible with the help of ATPase enzyme. The ATPase enzyme is activated in the presence of calcium ions. Then reduce the toxicity of plant. In the plant body, sometimes various toxic materials have been formed. The toxic materials have been reduced. For example, oxalate is a toxic material. Combines with the calcium, together form as a calcium oxalate. Then calcium carbonate crystals. Here calcium combines with some toxic material became the non-toxic plant parts. The last function is it has the important role in the photolysis. That that splitting of water molecules. Water molecules splitting into protons as well as electrons as well as oxygen. This is called as a photolysis. In this photolysis process, calcium ions are important. Now we can see that one more element, that is a magnesium. Then source of the magnesium is present as usual in the soil. There is no something logic here. It is absorbed in the form of magnesium ions. It is an important word, Mg+2. Mg+2 magnesium ions form of magnesium is absorbed by plant body through root hairs. Then availability, that is also available in the soil by the process of decomposition as well as degradation of these rocks. Then physiological role, how does magnesium is important for the plant body? It helps to activate the enzymes. It's an important concept. This question was asked in a NEET competitive exam. Which mineral is used for the activation of enzymes, especially enzyme which is participating in the photosynthesis process? Then here carbon dioxide, RUBP together is combined as hexane sugar. RUBP consists of 5 carbon. Carbon dioxide has 1 carbon. Together form as 6 carbon compounds. For this conversion, an enzyme is important. That is the Rubisco enzyme is important. The activation of the Rubisco enzyme, magnesium ions are important. Its concept is important. These enzymes are used in the photosynthesis process. One more is important like process respiration. In the respiration also various enzymes are activated. Example, hexokinase. Then glucose plus ATP together form as a glucose 6-phosphate. Glucose by phosphorylation, glucose 6-phosphate is formed. For this conversion, hexokinase enzyme is used. It is also activated with the help of magnesium ions. The third function is it is involved in the synthesis of DNA as well as RNA. That is nothing but nucleic acid synthesis. And also here central atoms of chlorophyll, fluoropyrin head are we discussed. Chlorophyll consists of head part as well as tail part. In the head part, magnesium is present. The last function is it is also helps for binding of ribosomes, that is a subunit during the protein synthesis. Example, there is a subunits 70S ribosomes as well as 80S ribosomes are present. 70S ribosomes have the 2 subunits, that is a 50S as well as 30S. The 80S ribosomes have the 2 subunits, 60S as well as 40S. S in the sense Wedberg, we already discussed. Then 50S subunit as well as 30S subunit. Here you take the example of 50S subunit as well as 30S subunit. They want to combine together. Then 50S plus 30S together is combined with the help of magnesium ions. So magnesium ions are useful for ribosomes, subunits combines. 80S consists of 60S as well as 40S. But at the time of protein synthesis, 60S and 40S together is connected by this magnesium ions. So magnesium ions are important for protein synthesis as well as then subunits combined during the photosynthesis. So these are the functions. Now let's discuss about the sulfur. The source of the sulfur is present as usual in the soil, and observed form is SO4 minus 2. Sulfate, not in the form of sulfur ions. Sulfur is absorbed by the roots of a plant in the form of sulfate, SO4 minus 2. It is an important concept. And availability, sulfur is available as in the soil. Then physiological role of sulfur. Then one function is it is essential for formation of root nodules in the legume plant species. There is a formation of root nodules. In the root nodules, bacteria will be settled down. there is a nitrogen fixation takes place. In this nitrogen fixation, for nitrogen fixation, root nodules formation is a compulsory process. For that process, sulfur is important mineral. And also it is a stabilizes the structural proteins by forming sulfur bridge or sulfide bridge, disulfide bridge. There is a one amino acid and there is a one more amino acid. These two amino acids are interlinked by two sulfur ions. Sulfur 1, sulfur 2. These two ions, these two sulfurs are interlinked by a bridge. This bridge is called as a disulfide bridge. It is an important concept. This question was asked in the previous NEET paper. And take the example of some structural components in this formation of thymine, formation of amino acids. Then at last, in the proteins, there is a sulfur is present. Means sulfur is important for the formation of root nodules, for the formation of disulfide bridge. For one amino acid, one more amino acid is interconnected by disulfide bridge. And also structural formation, there is a thymine as well as amino acids have been formed with the help of sulfur. Students, now we can see one typical question. That is the previous question in the NEET exam. The question is given as match the column 1 with the phrases in the column 2. Choose the answers which gives the correct combination of alphabets of the columns. Means these are the alphabets, column 1, and these are the number, column 2. In the column 1, they given words are here. Magnesium, then sulfur, then iodine, as well as manganese. Magnesium, manganese, as well as sulfur and iodine. These elements, essential elements, what their functioning capacity, means how they are useful for plants. In the column 2, the given words are here. Found in some amino acids, as well as not important for the plants. The third is structural component of chlorophyll. The fourth one is component of sugar. The fifth one is required for enzymes activities. You can see these elements and we can find out the correct functioning capacity of element. Then magnesium. The magnesium function is, it is a structural component of chlorophyll. Already discussed, magnesium is present in the head part of chlorophyll or periphery of chlorophyll. The remaining part is tail. Then sulfur is also present in amino acids. Amino acids are made up of carbon, hydrogen, oxygen along with nitrogen. Little amount of sulfur also present. Then iodine is not at all important for the plants. So that iodine is not important for plant body, but iodine is important for animals, especially for human being. And our fourth word is manganese. Manganese is important for then the requirement of enzymes. I already discussed in the photosynthesis process as well as in the respiration process. Various enzymes have been activated. In the photosynthesis, especially Rubisco enzyme is active form in the presence of magnesium or manganese, as well as in the respiration hexokinase, and various enzymes have become active form with the help of manganese. So out of these given options, what is the right one? The clues are given here: A, B, C, D. So as per this one, 1, 2, 3, 4, we can go for cross check. Third one is right answer. Option A means A is suitable with the third word, then B is suitable for first one, then C is suitable for second, the D is suitable for fifth as per this one. So answer is right one. So you can observe here, it is a lengthy question. It takes more than 1 minute of time. It is an time consuming question. The answering is not easy, but we have to know that essential elements and their functioning capacity. So as per this, then usage of the element, there is a question was asked in the previous question. It is an technical.